That's right. We just busted out of that commercial because we have breaking news out of the Southern District of New York. New York Times correspondent Michael Schmidt on the phone. Michael, what is happening there?
Michael Cohen, the president's longtime personal lawyer, is going to plead guilty to a new criminal charge this morning in connection with Robert Mueller's investigation. He'll be pleading guilty, and he'll be agreeing to cooperate with Mueller's investigators.
So this is nothing that we heard of before. This is separate from everything that Michael Cohen has been involved with or that's been reported on until this morning, correct?
Correct. This is different than the last time we saw Michael Cohen. The last time we saw Michael Cohen, he was going into court to plead guilty to charges stemming from payments he made to women during the campaign for Donald Trump to keep the women silent, to make sure that they didn't come out publicly. That was a separate investigation. This is related directly to Mueller who's looking at questions of collusion. And we will have a better idea today as Cohen is in court right now in New York, and we'll have a better idea about the extent of what he is pleading to and what the charges are.
Okay, so what he had pled to previously was 8 counts of tax evasion, bank fraud, and campaign finance violations back in August. So I know you only have limited information. What would this be about? Like, I understand that it's tied to the Mueller investigation. He lied to Congress. When? In what terms?
We haven't seen the court documents yet, so we don't know the extent of it. Cohen, there have been questions about Cohen's ties to Russia for some time. There's been questions about whether he was truthful about them to Congress. And if you're Mueller and you're looking at the ties between the campaign and Russia, and you are trying to understand if there is anything there, Cohen was a very important person to talk to. You needed his cooperation. You would not want to close the investigation without talking to him. There were allegations about Cohen in the dossier, that document that had been given to Mueller, had been given to the federal government by that former British spy who looked at Russia. So there were a lot of different questions with that. And for Mueller to continue to move forward and wrap things up, he needed to talk to Cohen. And it looks like this deal was put into place to make sure that that happened.
And it was not Mueller's team that was involved with Michael Cohen months ago. It was completely separate, correct?
Correct. That was different. What happened months ago was prosecutors from the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York who had been investigating the payments that had been made to these women during the campaign. That was a campaign finance investigation that also wrapped in some other fraud charges that Cohen had committed. This is Mueller. This is related to the Russia investigation, and that's what it's centered on.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.